Okay, imagine this. It's late, you're driving down a completely empty highway, and it's just pitch black outside. The only thing you can hear is the sound of your car cutting through the dead silence. It's the kind of setting that gives you chills, right? Well, that's exactly where we're going today as we dive into a seriously creepy story from the YouTube channel Scary Skull, a tale about a road trip that goes horribly, horribly wrong. And that's the line at the very heart of this story. It's not just a warning, it's practically a prophecy. It's a little hint that for some unlucky travelers on this lonely road, the final destination is going to be something way more sinister than they could ever imagine. You know how the best horror stories start, right? Everything seems perfect, almost too good to be true. And this one is no different. So let's meet our three friends who think they're about to have the perfect weekend away. So we've got Sid, Vicky, and Monty. These guys are childhood best friends, and they're on what's called a Langodia trip. Basically a road trip just for the guys, no girlfriends allowed. The plan is pretty straightforward. Drive to Matharan, hit up a big holy party, and just have an awesome weekend. To spice things up a bit, they decide to take a scenic shortcut. I mean, what's a road trip without a little adventure, right? So picture it. The music is blasting, everyone's in a great mood, and they're just flying down this dark road. But when a road is this empty, any kind of interruption, well, it feels huge. And the one they're about to hit is going to change absolutely everything. And then, bam, right there in their headlights, a woman appears out of nowhere. She's all alone, wearing a red dress, and she's trying to flag them down. She says her name is Tia and that she's in trouble. Just this mysterious, beautiful woman on a totally deserted highway. And her appearance immediately causes a huge argument in the car. For Vicky and Monty, this is amazing. A beautiful woman needs their help. They're thinking, hey, it's our lucky night. But Sid, no way. He gets this chill down his spine. He knows a woman, alone, in a red dress, on a desolate road at midnight. That's not a coincidence. That's a red flag. So Sid gets outvoted and Tia gets in the car. And, almost immediately, that fun, adventurous vibe of the trip just starts to curdle into something really, really unsettling. The weird stuff starts to happen. So what's the first major sign that things are going sideways? The GPS. Sid's driving, and he keeps saying they're lost. They pass the same strange tree or rock over and over again. They'll drive for 20 minutes and somehow end up right back where they started. That scenic shortcut, it's turned into a terrifying loop. It's a classic horror move, right? Trap your characters, take away any hope of escape, and turn their car into a cage. And as if that's not bad enough, the radio crackles to life. But it's not playing music. It's this distorted, absolutely terrifying voice that cuts through the static with a message, a direct warning that this is a one-way trip. At this point, the friends are officially freaking out. They're panicked, they're hungry, and they just need a break. And then they see it, a little glimmer of hope, the faint, flickering lights of a roadside eatery, a dhaba. It looks like a safe place, a chance to just stop and figure out what in the world is going on. But of course, this place has its own dark secrets. Okay, this is the moment things go from just spooky to totally supernatural. Inside, Sid spots this old, faded photograph on the wall, and his heart just stops. The woman in the picture, it's Tia, their passenger. It's her, exactly. And under the photo, there's a year written, 1880. The old man running the dhaba sees them staring at the photo, and he gives them one final, terrifying piece of advice. He tells them to run, to get out of there right now, because if they stay on this road, none of them will live to see the morning. So they scramble back to the car, hearts pounding out of their chests. But here's the thing. The horror they were trying to escape from on the outside, it came inside with them. The story totally pivots now, from some monster out there in the dark to the much scarier monster that's been in the car all along. Monty, the one who was so excited to pick Tia up, just explodes. He's full of this jealous rage, and he starts screaming at his best friend Vicky, accusing him of staring at Tia. He's yelling, "She's mine!" The tension just snaps, and that car becomes a pressure cooker of pure paranoia and anger. And the fight escalates with terrifying speed. Before anyone can even react, Monty reaches under the seat, and he pulls out this heavy iron rod. What was just a dumb argument between friends is about to turn absolutely deadly.
Without a second's hesitation, Monty brings that rod down hard on Vicky's head. And in one awful, brutal moment, a lifelong friendship ends in murder. Sid and Tia just watch, stunned, as their car becomes a crime scene.
So, Vicky's dead, Monty's a killer. It seems like the supernatural vibe from Tia just drove him completely mad, right? Well, the truth is so much more shocking than that. The monster in the car is not who you think it is. Sid starts panicking, and he turns on Monty, screaming that he's a chalava. Now, a chalava is this shape-shifting, deceptive demon from Indian folklore that basically lures travelers to their doom. Sid is claiming that Monty is the monster who's been behind all of this, but it's all a desperate, terrible lie. Because the real chalava, the true monster, it was never Tia. It was never Monty. It was Sid all along. He hasn't been a victim in this story. He has been the one pulling all the strings.
And when you look back, all the pieces just click into place. That weird bathroom break he took at the start of the trip, that's when the chalava took over his body. The GPS wasn't broken. He was deliberately driving them in circles. And at the dhaba, he gave a secret nod to the owner. They were both in on it. Every single strange thing that happened was part of his horrifying plan.
With Vicky dead, there's only one loose end left to tie up, Monty. So to silence the last person who knows what happened, the real monster, Sid, grabs a glass bottle and attacks his last friend. The attack makes Sid lose control of the car. It swerves off the road and crashes in this massive, fiery explosion. And when the smoke finally clears, there's only one survivor. The Chahalava, wearing Sid's face, just walks away.
And that leaves us with one last, really unsettling question. The chalava has its victims and is now free to wander that empty road again, just waiting in the darkness for the next car full of unsuspecting friends to drive by. Who's it going to find next on that lonely highway at 11 p.m.?